Yo, what up, good people? My man Lee Green, welcome to Keepin and Hoopin. You know, where we talk about all the youth basketball, pro basketball, all the basketball you want to hear in a transparent way, entertaining way, educational way, all that good stuff. Here with my brother from another mother, Lee Green Basketball. What's up, baby?
Yo, what's good with you, man?
Oh, man, everything is good, man. Enjoying this Sunday as much as possible, man. How you?
Yo, I'm good, man. You know, hey, I'm glad to be back on the show again. We got another special episode for the people, man.
Absolutely, man. Hey, man, before we get started, man, let me ask you something, man. How you stay young, dog? Because you still got the same baby face from JUCO, man. How you doing, man?
Hey, man, that's a great question, God, man. How about that? It's all about God, man. You know, hey, but when you got real talk though, when you got 14-year-old, 11-year-old, and a 6-year-old, man, you gotta stay young, man. Hey, the way they be moving, come on, fam. Come on, man.
Hey, man, you make it look so easy, man. You know.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, fam.
Yeah, man. Ty, you supposed to be getting older, man. Look like you're getting younger, man. So, you know, you're doing something right, man. I already know.
Hey, appreciate that, man. Hey, man, like I said, man, when you got kids of your own, man, you got to stay young, man. You got to keep it moving because they keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. Well, what you do this weekend, man? How's the fan? What y'all do? You know, how your team's doing and all that?
Listen, man, we been in the gym working, prepping. Just getting better every day. The fam is good, man. Just staying in the gym, man. Ready to get this fall and winter up and started, man. Get back into that gym. How about you? How about you and the fam? How y'all doing, man?
Man, we good, man. Me and the wife, we supposed to been taking a 5-day hiatus, man, from everything, but we end up working as usual. And then, you know, the kids got together. Some of Christian's cousins came through, man. So we didn't get to fully enjoy our 5-day vacation with staycation. Right. We're excited. The next couple of weekends, man, we're gonna do something, man. We're gonna go get the kids to their grandma, man, and we running.
Oh yeah, hey, you got to have that quality time, man. You can work. Hey, listen, it's time to work. Then there's a time to still have fun, man. Enjoy your family.
Yeah, man, you know it, man. But excited to be back, man. Another Sunday to get after it, man. A lot of, like you say, man, we thank everybody for all the great feedback that you've been giving us about the show. And, you know, all the questions is coming in. But what we need you to do, we need some action steps. So if you're watching this Go ahead, send this out, share it to 10 of your closest friends, to the families that you know that's in the sports, even if they don't play sports and they want to, sit back, just share it with 10 people right now. And, that'll help us, keep the show going. And also, to leave comments, any questions and all that good stuff. But we got a good one, bro.
Let's go, man. You know what time it is, man. Hey, the bubble. Listen, playoffs have started, man. I'm excited to see the action, man. Hey, a lot of teams gonna fall off, right? So it's it's game time, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Who you got, man? Who you going for, man? Listen,
I'm a Lakers fan, but I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Listen, but it's each series is 7 games, right? And the thing I have learned watching these NBA playoffs, man, you can't go off the first game. You can't go off the second game. You can't go off the third game. It's the first of 4, right? Plain and simple. First of 4 wins. So I got the Lakers, man, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you can't never count LeBron out, man, but I want Portland to do something, man, just off the storyline alone, man, of what Dame is doing, the Melo story and that whole CJ McCollum coming from a, small school. I want to see them win because I was like the underdog, man, but LeBron, man, he's just different, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, Portland got a story. They got a special story because every game they have played in the bubble has been like a game 7, right? They had to win just to get in, and it came down to the play-in game. So, hey, much respect to them for fighting and scrapping. You know what I'm saying? And let's see what happens, though, man.
Yeah, man, no doubt. Hey, look, I was just pet peeve of mine, man. Not even a pet peeve. I don't hate on a lot of people when it comes to sports and all that stuff, man, but it irritates me, man, see how James Harden play, man. Like,
talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Uncle out there. He the real Uncle Drew.
Hey, man, listen, man. The beauty about NBA, right? Everybody has their own little flavor. Everybody has their own little style. I mean, it's kind of like, it can come off like hero ball. You know what I'm saying? But again, what works for you works for you. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know if that's championship basketball yet. That has yet to be proven.
Right.
I mean, I just don't know, man. He's gonna have to prove that.
Yeah. No, bro. You know you're a Hoopin. You know it ain't gonna work. it ain't gonna work. He may get all these accolades. What you say?
Hey, I'm trying to give him a little hope, but I know it's not gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work.
It's not, man. Because
to me, honestly, man. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. That type of style, that type of play, man. For me, you a coach, I'm a coach. It's too predictable. I could just strategize against that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it, man.
That's just too easy for me, man.
Yeah, it is, man. All you really got to do is play super help side D and, let everybody else get theirs. But as long as he don't get his, they ain't got a shot. And I'm surprised, the coach let him play like that.
Yeah, because he make him go. If you could stop him, or at least you ain't gonna be able to stop him. You just got to control him. Matter of fact, I think that's one of the reasons why OKC won the other night. Yeah, they defended and they had to score. I mean, when you play against teams like the Houston Rockets, man, you got to be able to defend and you got to outscore them because if you don't, you will be in trouble. They shoot too many threes, man.
Too many, man. Too many. I ain't never seen so many threes shot, man. And now it really even no post up, man. No post up game. No banging down low. They bang down low is the kick back out so he can shoot a shot. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. If I played with James Harden, we've been fighting a lot of times in the locker room, man. Like
you're not going for that, man.
Pass the ball, man. Pass the ball, bro.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell you this though. From an offense perspective, I would love to be in that offense.
Right.
I would love. Hey, you will get 20 easy.
Yeah, because you got to get the ball though.
Yeah. You may not win no championships, but you can get 20.
Right.
Hey, because you know that's the day and age we living in right now. Social media. These kids being hyped on social media. I got to get 25. I got to get 30. You know they loving watching James Harden.
Right. No doubt. Hey man, that's funny. I was telling the kids, I tell our kids often, man. I say, yo, do you think 20 points a game is hard to average? They be like, yeah, coach, 20 is hard. 20 is hard, man. You know, it's hard to get 20. I say, okay, all right, that's because you think about it, the long game. Now, what if you chop it down to quarters? That ain't them really 5 points a quarter.
Hey, so it's that simple. 5 points a quarter.
All you youngins that's watching this and parents is watching it, relay the message to your son or daughter. If you break it down, this is free game. If you break it down per quarter,
free game.
5 points a quarter. They ain't nothing but 1-3 and a layup, right? A couple of free throws, 3-pointer. A couple of layups and 1 free throw. So if you break it down like that, you really can average, 20 points a game, if not close to it. Now, will you get it every game? Probably not, but your average will be up there if you just break it down in quarters. So that's free game, throwing it out there, and it works because I definitely did it for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's really not like you just made it simple and plain, man. It's not that hard, man. I did the same thing when I was in high school. I just pride myself with getting probably about 10 points off of just offense, and then my other 10 was coming from defense and steals. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard, man. It's really
That's
not.
It. Yeah, a couple of steals, you win there. A couple of rebound putbacks, free throws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's
we make it
part of the game.
Oh yeah. They make it. A lot of kids make it harder than what it is, but you just got to do it within the office, man. None of that hero ball. That's not gonna work. No.
Right. Yeah, man. So what we got for the day, man?
What we got for the people today?
Oh man. Hey, look, we talked about it a little bit last episode. We definitely talk about it to our teams. We talk about it to the young adults, everybody that we mentor, overcoming adverse situations and getting through it, right? And embracing your role, whether you're on a team, whether and this applies for life as well. We can get into some of that a little bit later, but yeah, embracing your role. Super important. And we talk about a couple of players who have gone through situations, who had to overcome adversity, and some came out of it, some didn't. But today we want to talk a little bit about Melo and all he did it all that he came through with. Nobody wanted to pick him up. They say he was watched. That's what they say, Lee. They said it all over social media. Melo was watched. Hang it up, Melo. You're doing too much. Was he doing too much, or was he not in the right system, or did he not get with a player who had true leadership like a Dame Dollar?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or did they let him do what he wanted to do by him being a superstar? So, what's your thoughts on that, man?
And I think it was a mixture, a little bit everything you kind of talked about. I think some of it was his doing. Some of it was just the whole perception that people had of him. Just a one-on-one hero ball. All he worried about is scoring. He don't want to play defense. He never has taken any of his teams that he played on past the first round, stuff like that. So I think a little of that, baggage. I think a lot of that came with it. Also, he was known, people thought that he was a guy that didn't really want to commit to defense. So when you talk about championships, man, you got to be able to sit down and play defense. But I'm gonna tell you something. He proved me something the other night against LeBron. I mean, he sat down, he played deep. Say that again.
No, I was saying, talk to me.
Yeah. So what I saw in that is that he was committing himself. And again, when you talking about what he went through, come on, man. He had people telling him he ain't good enough. He had people telling him he don't belong in the NBA. Come on, man. He a Hall of Famer. You got people telling you don't belong in the NBA. Come on, man.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. And like you said,
talk about that,
man. And like you said, you can't, man. Somebody that played that long in the league and add so much value to the game, you can't never push them to the wayside. Now, like you said, key point, he did, and I think Iverson had this problem too. With you being a superstar athlete for so long, you have a hard time, man, saying, "Yo, I'm coming off the bench." No, I'm a future Hall of Famer. I'm not coming off the bench, right? And it is an ego thing, but at the same time, it's a humbling thing. Once you gotta be like, okay, let me try this other way out, man. Let's see. Now, I mean, Father Time getting up with me. Okay, let me see how this situation gonna go. And once you embrace that role and go through that little bit of adversity, you know, things change. And I think that's where he at now. Let's watch this clip, man. I dug up a clip where he was talking about the little situation that happened in Houston and kind of talking from his perspective and what happened, man. So let's watch a little bit of that.
All right. This generation to being told that you can't be a part of a 9-man rotation.
Yeah, I felt, honestly, pardon my language, I felt like, I'm not even gonna lie, like to sit there across from the GM president or the GM of the team and him tell you, listen, your services are no longer needed. That was an ego hit. That was a pride hit. Like, I felt like I started questioning myself after that. Like, damn, can I still do this? What did I do? Like, I asked him that, what did I do? Oh, you didn't do anything. It's just not working out. So are we saying that Carmelo Anthony reached a point in time at that particular moment where you were questioning whether or not you had the game any longer? At that point in time, because that what made me feel like that at that point in time. Somebody in power that tells you we no longer need your services. I've been utilizing my services for a long time. Like, for you to tell me.
Question itself,
man. Talk to me, man.
Question itself, man. He could have gave up. You have the GM in a clip before that. He was talking about how he was in the hotel room getting ready to go to a game when he got the call from the GM saying, "Hey, no, your
come on, man,
no longer needed." Oh man,
come on.
A lot of people would have quit.
Hey, I know a lot of people who would have quit. You know what I'm saying? And this goes back to the original, topic, overcoming adversity. And he's shown that he was able to overcome that type of adversity of someone telling him his service is no longer needed. Like, that's, like he said, that's a blow to the ego. That's a pride hit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of youngsters can learn from him, being able to overcome adversity, especially when coaches may feel like you're not good enough to fit their system. Don't take it personal, though. That's why I want parents to tell their kids, man, don't take it personal. This is life. And it's like, you being in a career that you've been there 30 years and they tell you fired. Hey, that's life. How you respond to it is key. Talk to me, man.
That's it. It's everything. Either you're going to use that as motivation or you're going to lay down. You're going to use it as motivation. You be like, yo, this coach ain't right. This GM ain't right. I'm going to keep pushing because I know I still got something left in the tank, or I got something to prove, or I can still play. You mean to tell me this guy couldn't make a 9-10-man rotation?
Come on. Nah, man, he could easily made it.
But check it, though. I don't know if you peeped. The title of that joint said "Deeper Than Basketball," right? That was Melo's mentality of, okay, I know I can make a 9-10-man rotation. It got to be deeper than basketball. Like, it's something off the court or whatever. But the ironic thing about this joint is, Lee, now that he's transitioning to a role player, now he's even starting again, but his life is transitioning into like deeper than basketball, with his being a social activist and speaking up for the culture, right, and doing things off the court. Now he's not looked at this player as, oh, Melo is the stubborn one or the selfish one. Now he's looking at, okay, he overcame adversity. He's doing great things in the community. Now he's setting himself up for life truly out the basketball. That's the key piece, deeper than basketball. And I found that ironic for the title, even though his mentality was, they don't like me outside the court. But it's funny how, what he doing now. That's the way I took it. And
obviously, it's a good point. Obviously, he had some deep issues within that he had to deal with. So this happened for a reason. So when things like that happen to your child, trust and believe there's a lesson out of it. Now, we won't know because we're not close to Melo like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you and I are. But I'm telling you, there probably was a deeper issue that he probably really didn't touch on, up until that point that he had to address and face. And sometimes, man, that comes in moments when you're not really expecting it. But I feel like he became a better man. Like you said, there's so many other things that he's able to do now because he's going to be more relatable to kids because he was told that he wasn't good enough. You don't fit the system. You got to move on. We let you go. And hey, listen, we all been told that at some point. It's just, again, it's all about life lessons, man. And being able to overcome adversity is key to anybody's success.
Man, that's real, man. That's real. I can remember, plenty of times that I could have gave up myself. And I'm just talking about like off the court, right? Situation where I'm like, man, am I good enough? A good enough coach. Like when you're coaching and you're coaching hard and you have, some of the kids are playing hard, some are not, or some don't even understand the mentality that it goes into playing the game. So when we first started, man, like we was losing.
Right.
Losing. Go to this tournament, we go 0 for 4. 2 for 4. 0 for 5. I'm like, Lee, is it something I'm doing wrong? Am I not coaching them? Am I not relating to them? Right? I could have quit as a coach. Not want to do it no more. Give up. Forget C-Tab. We ain't doing it no more. It's me. Right? But at the same time, I had to find a way. Like, yo, no, this is just a hurdle. We're going to get some of the right kids to come in that really want to fit the system. Also, too, I got to change my approach in my coaching style. We talked about it a little bit at the last episode. But I could have gave up in a lot of stuff in life, too, man. Tell me about a time that you had to overcome adversity, bro.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, man. I was kind of, and we touched on this, you and I, off camera. A lot of people don't know that I'm actually deaf in my right ear, right? I can only hear out my left ear. So being an athlete, playing baseball, football, basketball, and having coaches, constantly, communicate to you, especially in basketball, can be tough if you have a hard time hearing, right? So with me not being able to hear it out of my right ear was really a disadvantage. I mean, I could have easily been like, and made excuses of why, I could be more successful because if I was able to hear out of both ears, blah, 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 and so on. But I never made that excuse, man. And it was something out of my control. That's the other thing is that, you got to control the controllables, kids, parents, control the controllables and control what you can control. You can't control anything outside of yourself, right? I had no control over me not being able to hear in my right ear. I mean, that happened at a very, very young age, right? So this comes through fortitude, man. You got to find other ways. So I became creative. So I had to do things that maybe other kids didn't have to do, but I made adjustments. I adapted, and that's what Melo did. He adapted. He made adjustments, and now he's having success on the team that's in the playoffs, man.
Man, that's real. That's why he's my vote. Portland is my vote. I'm locking it in. I'm gonna ride with him. Win or lose. Just off the story alone. And by saying that, that's really how. And kids and parents, check it out. Now, you mentioned me. I say I'm a ride with Portland no matter what. Is that my team? No. But I'm riding with them no matter what because of the story, the transparency, the things that's going on. They're relatable. So that's the thing. That's a big, huge message. You never know who's watching you. You never know who's willing to support you. You never know who's supporting you and you don't know it. Like, that's big. Tell your story, walk in your purpose, play the right way, do the right things because you never know who's watching, you never know who's rooting for you, and who's in your corner. You know what I mean? So,
and also And to add, not to cut you off, but to add to what you're saying, man, there's so many things that have come that you was able to apply by overcoming adversity, and one of them being that you wrote a book, my man. You was able to write a book about you overcoming adversity through sports. Like that's Absolutely. What I mean. Like Melo will be able to tell many stories, but I think he got a book coming. I don't know if that's true, but I believe he could write a book about his story and that how his story can impact other kids' lives. So parents, Absolutely. Don't try to run from adversity. Don't try to pull your kid out of it. Allow your kid go through the fire. Allow your kid to learn from their mistakes. Allow your kid to be okay with being told no. It's not the end of the world if they're told no. It's not the end of the world if they get cut. Find another way. There's many ways out there.
Yeah, that's true, man. We got a comment that came in. Well, actually got a question. All right. Deborah Schroeder said, how do you teach kids to transition from offense to defense?
How say that one more time.
How do you teach kids to transition from offense to defense? So I think more what you're talking about is the mentality, I believe. If somebody's an offensive player, how do they transition to the defensive type mindset?
Well, I think, man, I first of all, thank you for the question. I think for me personally, I believe defense is a mindset, and I can only talk it from my experience where, I went from high school. I had to be a little bit of a pass first, create for others. But then, when one of the guys got suspended from the team, I had to become score first. So before that, I was going to guard the best player. You know what I'm saying? I had to go guard the best player. And that was just my mentality. I believe it's a mentality. It's just like, listen, many of us have gifts, but few will actually activate that gift. You can't force it. It's something that has to be within them. Something that they're willing to say, you know what, I'm going to commit to this. And some got it. And truth be told, some don't. It's just the reality of life, man. Talk to me, man. Some got it, my man, some don't. I know we try to give it to people, try to give it to kids, but the reality is some kids, for many reasons, just don't have it. You know what I'm saying? And I would blame some of it on parents and how you parenting. You keep holding on, allowing them to hold onto your coattail and bailing them out. Now when they get in the trenches, they curl up, they fold up, they run. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I totally agree, man. I totally agree. You were spot on. It's another kid who, and many of you guys may have heard of him. His family is my wife's first cousin. Great kid, tremendous athlete, tremendous student. Jeremy Roach. A lot of you, like I said, heard of him. He's at Duke this year, getting ready to kick off his freshman year. But talking about overcoming adversity, he's one of the kids who have overcame an injury. Like his junior year, he tore his ACL, and it was a shocking thing to everybody. Trying to figure out, will he come back? Will he be better than ever, right? And come to find out, he's jumping higher. He's playing better, and he's going to be one of the lead guys over there at Duke. How can somebody overcome an injury? Myself, I've never had an injury outside of a stress fracture, but I know that can take a strain on somebody mentally. But he's one of the kids, man, that really locked in and knew his end goal, so he had to continue to work.
Well, man, listen, injury, I ain't never really dealt with no injury, but I know that's part of overcoming adversity. I mean, I look at Gordon Hayward. I mean, now he's down. I mean, you know his story, how he went through that injury. I think that was that a year or two? I think it may have been 2 years ago. Now he's down with an ankle injury, right? Like, listen, injuries can be tough, but I believe that's just you got to have a mindset. I know of a kid. She went through 2 ACL tears. She's playing in college right now. She went through 2 ACL tears, and I know if I was put in that situation, I don't know if I'm gonna be willing to push through that.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
watching them, what they have to overcome, and you probably touch on it more because he's a family of yours, Jeremy. So watching it, up close in person, man, that's a tough injury to come from. And I mean, much respect to him and to the young lady to be able to still say, you know what, this is a dream of mine. I'm still gonna find a way.
Right. And one of the things too, and before he even got injured, and just knowing him and his work ethic and how he trains and prepares, like it's just a different discipline that he has. So the same discipline that he has in the classroom, the same discipline he has on the court, he has to have that same discipline when rehabbing and really taking this thing serious on eating the right foods and prepping and all that good stuff. And when you do those things, great things happen. Like I said, he come back, man, fully ready to take on college basketball and really gonna do something. To me, he a one and done. Not just saying that because he fan, but he's a one and done, man, and really gonna have a story to tell and gonna be a joy to watch, man.
Man, hey, I'm looking forward to watching him play, especially now knowing what he had to go through to get to this point. Because I know that's not an easy task to be able to overcome that type of injury. And also having the, recognition that he had, going into high school, now transition from high school to college. So now, people had an expectation of him and still do. And now that he's at Duke, that expectation goes up even higher.
Right. Yeah, man. It can be pressured, man. It can be a lot of pressure. But, if you're a great player, man, and you say who you are, if you're who you are, who you say you are, then, you're overcoming, man. Like you.
But that also goes back, Daryl. It goes back to your why. Like, if you're going, my thing of like, just if I could give parents like practical steps of helping their kid kind of overcome adversity, it starts with your why. Like, why are you even doing this? Why are you playing? Like, because that right there, that why is going to be important. Especially when you come up against adversity. Challenges, obstacles, on and off the court, in the classroom, on the court. Your why has to be significant, man. And it got to be bigger than just you, Right. And I'm pretty sure with Jeremy, it's not just about him. He's probably thinking in his mind, I represent my family, man, my entire family. Right. So that's part of his why. That's going to push him to, to fight through those ups and downs of, the injury that he had, man.
Right. And the funny part about it is too, Lee, talking to kids daily and working with kids, you'll be surprised that a lot of kids don't know their why they play the game. Yeah. Right. They really don't know. Some of the kids is really shining and really playing hard to the level and give you the effort. They know their purpose. They know their why and why they're doing what they do. But clearly you can tell the ones that don't, right? I had times where kids wasn't giving me the effort that I needed on the court. Through a half a season, it got to the point, I said, man, let me sit down and talk to this kid. Let me sit down and talk to this kid. Man, I see he's a fly kid. He's very influential. Everybody love him. His peers love him, right? But when he came onto the court, he just ain't had that dog in him. But he can play though. He can shoot, he can handle the ball. He could have did something. But I'm like, let me sit there and have a conversation with this kid. And come to find out, say, Coach, I don't know, man. I just feel funny playing on this court with people that I don't really know. Because we talking about AAU where you play with kids that you really don't know like that, right? You may seen them or played against them, but you don't know them. So I say, man, what they got to do with basketball? He said, man, Coach, it's hard for me to pass the ball if they're not my friend, right? And I really don't know if I want to play this game or even love it. I said, wow. Okay, now that explains it, right? So we had a conversation and I really had to break it down to him, man. What is your why? Why are you playing this game? It's okay, man, if you don't want to play this game, man. If you don't want to play, it's totally fine. Do something else, man, and we fully support you in doing that. and come to realization, man, he had a come to Jesus moment and realize, coach, this ain't for me, right? But through that conversation and through that tough love, he was able to face some of the things that he was facing the latter part of his career, but also too now in life. So,
well, to piggyback off what you just said there, man, there's something key that you did. You actually sat down and had a conversation with the young man. Mm-hmm. See, many parents aren't having a conversation with their own child to figure out if this is something that they really want to pursue, because at each stage, at each level, it gets tougher, from elementary to middle school to high school to college to the pros, if they happen to make it that far. You got to really revisit your why at each level, at each stage, because if you don't, you get put into a trap, and you have coaches place a demand on you because they see your talent, they see your potential, but really deep within you, you really don't want to pursue this thing anymore. Right. Until somebody had a conversation with you, you would not be able to unlock that and figure out that, hey, really, I love playing the game, but I don't love it that much to put it into work. And like you said, that's okay. But just figure that out. Come to that conclusion. So one, you don't waste your own time. Two, you don't waste your teammates and your coach's time. And three, you don't waste your parents' time, man.
Yeah, money.
It's a lot of time, money being. Say that again.
I say, man, and they money. Basketball, youth basketball, man, is expensive, and it adds up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. One of the things too,
but you have a lot of parents there. You have a lot of parents investing in their child, which is a good thing. But they're investing in a child without asking the proper question of how far do you want to take this? Like, I don't want to be traveling all across the world, investing in you, taking you to camps and different things like that, paying for AAU teams and different things like that, when you really don't have a sincere passion to actually take this thing to the next level. And that could just be as simple as making your high school team and playing varsity basketball. If you don't have that type of passion, we may have to revisit our investment and put that investment towards something else.
Yeah, absolutely, man. To be honest with you, I'm there right now with Christian. Me and Lee is like that right now to be, just last night. He said that, Mom and Dad, I don't really know if I want to play basketball. Right? And we were like, where does kind of come from? Because we hard on them. Like, we talk about it. We're open with this. Like, we got to hoop in the back. Bro, if you're going to play this game and you tell me you want to go to Duke, like Jeremy, you tell me you want to go to the NBA. I don't care if you're not. You're going to work towards it. You're not going to just say it and then not work, right? You don't have to do it. But if you tell me that we're going to prepare you and do the necessary steps to get you there. And we don't know if he loves music too, right? Because I love music. I don't know if he's trying to emulate me or, playing a game because we're trainers and coaches. So we're trying to figure this thing out. Like, is he just playing? Yes, he has a natural gift. He's better than a lot of 9-year-olds and a lot of high school kids at age 9. But that don't mean nothing. If it ain't within here and you want to do it, it's not going to work out. So the phase we in now, like, man, how do we having conversations with him? Like,
and those conversations are important, because what you do is you allow him to have a voice, and then you as parents, you make the decision on where where to go next. Because the reality is our kids have many gifts, but there's that one gift that will unlock a lot of doors for our kids. But we as parents got to sit down and have that conversation and figure it out what's best for our child. Because you don't want to invest in something that's not for your child. It may, because here's the thing, Daryl. Let me say this: everything is for a season too. Everything is not for a lifetime.
Right.
You understand? So you got to have these questions with your child to make sure that you figure out what's best for them. And I don't think a lot of parents are having that conversation.
Super important. Super important. We got another question that came in, bro. Let's hit this question and then we'll get into our next topic.
Yes.
How do you deal with sideline coaching from parents?
How do you deal with sideline coaching from parents? Well, first, now just from an organization standpoint, Me being have my own organization, and also being I used to be a high school coach. It's very important to have that conversation up front and set those guidelines or rules, so to speak, that no coaching. Because here's the thing: if the parent, and I still see it with different organizations, and I see it with parents, is that if you have a parent talking to the child during the game, then how can they really hear what the coaches say? You caught it between. But I believe that's because the parents are afraid to let go and allow their child to fail. They constantly got to micromanage. And I think that's the new generation. So to answer the question, I think you got to set the guidelines up front and let it be known, hey, these are my rules. This is my expectation. If you don't abide by it, then, I want to let you know it could hurt your child's playing time, period.
No, that's real, man. Like you said, had that conversation up front. And we talked about this a little bit last episode, like that really your parents, your coach's parents meeting, they have to be one of the main topics of discussion.
Yes.
It has to be. And how I look at it is like during that conversation is be thorough and really be like, I can be cool and I'm calm and all that stuff, but at the same time, like what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. So if you're gonna do this and Timmy's not gonna listen to me and he gonna listen to you more, then you need to go coach him. He needs to be on another team because C-Tab is not for you. And if it happens, we have a conversation, but if it continues to happen, then you can no longer be with this organization. And we love you, but this ain't for you. And it ain't a good fit.
And you gotta set it. You gotta set those guidelines, because if you don't, it's gonna be a long season, it's gonna be a headache. And understand too, I think it's important too, as we as coaches, because you and I are coaches, man, that we also understand the perspective of the parent. And a lot of times the reason why parents are sideline coaching is really because they're afraid. They don't want their kid. They're afraid that their kid's going to embarrass them. So they're trying to control the outcome. So I think it's important as coaches that we educate our parents from that standpoint, that, hey, it's okay. You failed. That's how you learn. That's how you got to the point where you are in life. Allow your kid to go through the whole experience and just trust the coaches that will do the right thing for your child. Yeah, there's going to be times we got to sit them down because they're not performing well. That's okay too. That's a part of life, right? That's why it's called team. It's a team sport. Sometimes it may be your child that's getting a majority of the playing time. It may be your child scoring all the points, and then other nights it may be somebody else. That's okay too. It's not going to always be your child.
Hey, you hit it spot on, man. Spot on. Our next topic, man, is really, we identified a couple of people who exemplified embracing their role and did it to a T, which continued them to play ball, right, at a high level throughout the years and longevity. One of the guys that came up, super pro, Ray Allen. Allen, sharpshooter, man. The sharpshooter. Talk to him, man. How you feel about Ray Allen, man?
Well, what I liked about, and again, this is, I always want to bring this back to life, is that what Ray Allen did, he came in UConn, All-American, did his thing, went to Seattle Supersonics, did his thing. But over as his career became longer, right? As he got deeper into his career, he made his adjustment. He became that instead of going through the lane and dunking on people, dropping 30 a game, he made his adjustment, became that guy that was going to stretch the floor by hitting threes. At every level, parents, your kid will have to adapt. They won't always be the guy. They won't always be the girl that's scoring all the points and doing everything for the team. Your role will change through with time. Talk to me, Daryl.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, and what Ray Allen did was, like, he's one of the players, he really could still be playing right now.
But why? But why though, Daryl? Talk to me. But talk to me. Tell me why you think that's so.
For a couple of reasons. The main reason is he kept his body right. He was willing to accept the role of just being a spot-up shooter, or LeBron passing the ball and he's taking that game-winning shot and not have to get up 25, 30 shots a game to be effective. He embraced that. And the other piece is too, he was one of them guys just like Tim Duncan. Like, he did his job. He was professional. Never heard anything bad about the guy, for real. So now if he chooses to, he can go into GM role. He can go into a top position in the NBA because of his brand, his character, and he's knocking down shots, right? So he did all the necessary steps to exemplify a professional athlete. So now he can still play if he wanted to, but now he's good enough and did a great job. Now he's like, man, okay, life after basketball, I'm good. I can go ahead and start this business. I can go ahead and do that. And he's a Hall of Famer, man.
Oh yeah, and another guy, man, that did the same thing, that made his adjustments, Chris Bosh. I mean, him teaming up with D Wade and LeBron in Miami to see, and that's another thing, parents that you could teach your child, is that sacrifice for the betterment of your teammates, to help your team to achieve the major goal, which is championships. And that's what Chris Bosh did. He said, all right, I was a superstar at one point. I was the guy that the offense ran through me. I was getting up 25 shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you went out for a second, bro.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear.
But talk to me about that. Talk to me about the sacrifice that kids have to make in order to be successful on teams that got 9, 10 players that can play.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a concept that we call the we over me. The we over me effect. Mm-hmm. Right. You put yourself beneath the team. You let the team go up here and you come down here just for the betterment of whether it's winning, whether it's, you have an athlete. And this is one of the things too, understanding where everybody is at. And I give you an example. If you have, say we got a team, right? And we got 8 guys who have Division I offers, Division II offers or whatever, right? And
yep.
And this actually happened. It was a kid who had no offer, right? And go to a tournament where a ton of scouts is there, right? One of the kids who was one of the major leaders, like, let Sean get all my minutes. Let him get my minutes.
Wow.
I'm good, man. I got 12 offers. Let Sean go ahead and go and get some bump, right? That's one of the ultimate sacrifices, man. This kid was willing to say, man, I got mine. Let Sean go ahead and get his. And guess what? That kid did get an offer that particular game.
Come on, man.
That's off that. That's talking about leadership, sacrifice. What kind of mentality do a kid at that age? Like, that's crazy, right?
Hey, much respect to that kid.
What'd you say?
I said much respect to that kid for doing that.
Huge, man. And guess what? If he does it now, guess what he gonna do life after basketball or get into the business world or in the workforce? How many lives will he impact just off a simple gesture like that, right? And I don't think a lot of kids, man, sacrifice or understand to put the team over themselves, right? Because it's all got to be about me. I need mine. It's about I got to drop 30 or I got to get these scholarships. Not knowing if they put the team first and everybody eats, everybody wins, everybody shines.
Hold on, say that again. I can't just let you just gloss over that. Everybody what?
Everybody eats, everybody shines, everybody would get theirs, right?
Come on.
If you do it in a team concept. right? And then it goes back to what we were talking about with the whole James Harden thing.
Mm-hmm.
They would never win a championship because it's me and then we when it comes to Houston basketball.
Yeah.
That's what it is now. The moment he switched to we over me, watch they get a championship.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what's going. I don't know if this is going to happen, but I believe that would happen in probably another 3 years in his career. That he would leave Houston and he would change his role, and because he has the brain. All right, the guy can score against anybody. He has the brain, he has the talent, he has the know-how, but his mentality needs to change just a little bit in order to win a championship. I mean, just look, Kevin Durant. He was the guy at OKC. What did he do? He left OKC to go win a championship with Golden State. He was willing to sacrifice, man. You got to be willing to sacrifice. And here's something I want to drop to you, Daryl.
Okay, talk to me.
Many this is how I look at it. You got somebody that needs to hold the camera, and then you got somebody that's going to be in the picture, right? The problem is, the ones that are in the picture actually should be holding the camera. The ones that are holding the camera should be in the picture. But the reason why it's not working, why they're in the wrong roles, is because they don't have the proper perspective. The person that's holding the camera is just as valuable as the ones that are in the picture. Come on, man. So many people want to be in the picture, but many don't want to hold the camera. I'm just saying. Talk to me. I'm just saying. You have to be willing to do both at some point. There's going to be a time you're going to be in the photo. There's going to be time you got to hold the camera.
Yeah.
Talk to me, man.
So when you're talking about camera, man, you're talking about vision. You're talking about vision. You're seeing perspective. You're seeing the big picture of what's going on, right? So everybody that's winning in life and that I know that's doing good financially, that's doing good with their family structure and their tribe, everybody has that we over me mentality for the most part. We don't know what goes on behind doors and all that good stuff, but the people that I know being authentic to themselves, who are overcoming adversity, no matter what the situation, who are embracing their roles, whether you're an athlete, whether you're a father, whether you're a mother, whether you're a sister, whether you're a brother, whether you're a mentor, and really embracing their role, they're the ones winning. There's the one that winning in life, and that's who people want to be associated with, right? So parents, if you're listening, put your kids, and we talked about it last time, I keep going back because it's super important. Put your kids in the right environment, put your kids with the right coaches, and put your kids with the right peers. Don't let them hang around people who don't have great work ethics, who get down on themselves because, this happened and now they talking negative about their coach, talking negative about their friend. It's toxic environments. So if you want to win in life, you gotta take these steps that we're talking about. This is free game, Lee. I don't know if they know or not. This is free game. Free game.
And it's coming, listen, man, it's coming from two people that actually been through it. Like the path that we had to go is not a path that many will go through. From high school to junior college to Division I, many wouldn't do it. To be able to go, like I was telling a person the other day, I said, man, I remember going out in Vegas, pursue of trying to play pro basketball, man. And I was sleeping on the floor of the coach in the coach's house, man. And one of my teammates. And I said, man, the sacrifice that guys and women got to make to play pro is beyond imaginable, man. Like we won't even know half the stories. We will never know these stories of these women and guys that have made the necessary sacrifice to reach their dream. Not only just in basketball, also just in life, period, man. So you're spot on, man.
Yeah, Ray Allen, looking at Ray Allen stuff and a short documentary, he was talking about that too. He was like, man, I miss all these games with my kids. When they had birthdays and stuff like that, he had to be gone. a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so now he's making up that time and really like, yo, I gotta do this. I really gotta step into fatherhood, but just to not to go off topic, man, but sacrificing, you know, us as coaches, you know, sacrificing a lot, man. You know, we put in a lot of time with other people's kids, speaking life into them. You know, we're fortunate enough to be coaching our kids and be around our kids, but a lot of people are not. A lot of coaches are not, right? So sacrifices being made on every end of youth sports and basketball as a whole, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, man.
Oh yeah, it is. But like we have gone through, man, and just to encourage these parents out there who have kids that are athletes and that have potential to be successful, the sacrifice is worth it. Listen, if I just go back and just kind of if I could just add up the costs that my mom had to make as far as the semi-private school, take me to these camps. I mean, I'm just guessing the amount. I mean, you're looking at just to go to a private school, you may be looking at about $60,000, and then you're talking about, you know, spending money to go to camps, maybe another 10, maybe not even 10, maybe 5, right? So
Right,
65.
right.
And then you talk about I get a scholarship that's worth over 100-some thousand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, it's worth it. Like, but the key is, parents, you got to have a conversation with your kid to find out if this is something that they really want to do, or it's going to be a wasted investment.
Bro, how would your mother felt if you would have came out there and gave half effort after spending that money, man? I can only imagine.
But see, Daryl, is they not only probably I know my mom had a conversation with me, but maybe not to that deeper level that you and I talking about, because maybe it's some things she didn't know. But she saw our parents saw our work ethic. They saw our attention to detail. They saw the talent, the potential, and they was willing to invest into our talent, our gift. But we had to do our part too, as kids, as athletes. We had to be willing to go and show that we was worth being invested in, and not take it lightly. So when you have those conversations and you teach your kids how to work hard and be disciplined and have a vision and have goals, you'll understand that investment is going to be worth it, because you're actually seeing a return on your investment. I tell my kids all the time, I'm not going to invest in you if I'm not going to see the return on investment, because that's a wasted investment. Who would do that? You think any of these Bill Gates and Buffett going to do something like that? Nah, they're not going to just invest in a company just because. Ain't going to happen.
Right, absolutely. And the key piece too, man, is also like you gotta discipline them, man. Like if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and this is like random stuff we're talking about right now. All right. Listen, if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, Sally shouldn't have a phone.
Hey, it's that simple. Because here's the thing, Daryl. Here's the thing with that, Daryl. We're giving kids, and again, I get it. If we didn't have it, we're going to try and make sure that our kids have it. But we're giving kids things that they're not even working for. Like somehow, yeah, you give them the phone, that's cool, but have them work for it so they can appreciate it, value it. Or they just going to break it and they're going to come to you and ask for a new phone because they ain't going to value it.
And they know they're going to get it. And they expect it. Like we tell our son, man, listen, you don't work for it, man, you're not getting this, man. No, do something to earn it.
But Daryl, this goes back to our original topic of overcome adversity and embracing your role. Because when you embrace your role, the one who embraces their role, they value their role. So if you don't value it, you're not going to embrace it. It's the same thing with material things. If you don't value it, you're not going to appreciate it, and you're just going to misuse it. It's the same thing on the court. If you don't value your role, you can't ask for more if you're not going to value what you already have.
Hey, that's free game right there, man. Listen, that's Jews right there, Lee. You speaking the truth. And you know why I love this show, man, what we're doing? Because despite we talking about basketball, we talk about keeping and hooping and stuff like that, guess what it all goes back to? goes back to life.
Yes, sir.
It goes back to life. This is why we do this. Because at the end of the day, when that ball goes flat, your kid still has to survive on his or her own when you're not there. We're not gonna be here
Say
forever.
that again.
Yeah, we're not gonna be here forever. So when we go and our legacy, if we standing for something for our legacy, they should know how to stand on their own 10 toes, displaying hard work and using values that they learned doing basketball to put them in a better position in life, man. So that's why I love what we're doing. I love this show, man, and we're not just giving people game on just basketball, man. All this stuff ties back into life, man.
And that's what's most important, because we raising up in youth sports, so we're raising up the next generation of leaders, and not just successful players, but we're raising up the next generation of leaders, man. So it's important that we use this platform that we have, whether it's through this podcast or coaching or just basketball in general, man. We maximize this platform for our kids, because not just for our kids that we have personally, but also for other kids that God allows us to come in contact with. And those people that are watching this, parents that are watching this, that we give them substance, man. And that's what we're doing on the show, man. So I appreciate you again, coming together, we collabing and making this thing a reality, but it's something of value and substance. We're not just wasting people's time.
Absolutely, man. What you got next, man? What's on the table for Lee Green basketball, which I got coming up this weekend, and
Well, man, the main thing is, man, to keep working, to keep writing the vision, making it plain. Don't become comfortable with the norm, and continue to get outside our comfort zone, man. That's where it's at. That's what we're doing over here, and that's why I'm continuing to help these kids do, man. Get outside their comfort zone and be great in their own way.
Absolutely, man. Keep killing it, bro. Keep killing it, man.
Likewise.
And, yeah, absolutely, man. So this has been another episode, man, of Keepin It Hoopin'. Hey,
yes, sir.
If you're watching it live, we appreciate you for locking in with us. Everybody on the replay, check it out. Leave your comments. We'll get back with you. Make sure you're sharing this thing. The more it get out there, the more substance in the youth basketball culture as a whole. Be more positive, but also have that Mamba mentality, whether it's life, whether it's in sports. So It's been another episode, and keep doing y'all thing.
Man, appreciate y'all. Click that like button, comment below.